Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to demonstrate to you on how to create a slider that looks like this. So I've always been inspired with Apple website where they have actually quite a beautiful minimalist really wide website design, and also they have something like this, for example, which I find is really interesting. Now this is a slider, and the slider is a little bit different from what you see from the carousel. That's the one offered in the WordPress with live canvas and Pico straps, because that is just only a single, how do I say this, slides with an image and a bit of a text and with a bit of the indicators at the bottom here, and also with a little bit of the arrow of the left and right. But this is actually a little bit more complicated, or a bit more detailed, I would say, because it can contain like pictures with three components or more than one component in one slider. And then not just that, you can also put a little bit of pictures and text and like literally everything. So and the good thing is it's actually responsive. Is I try to reduce or make it smaller, you will see that you can only see, as for now, only two at the same time. Or maybe if I reduce a little bit more, you can actually see that it looks pretty well in such a way. So at the end of the day, it actually looks quite responsive, and I'm trying to do this in WordPress as how you learned before. But then again, to do this, I need to get an assistant of JavaScript. So I have already bound into Splide. Splide is a lightweight, flexible, and also the accessible slider or the carousel that is written in the TypeScript. So there is no dependencies. You can use it anywhere you want. And this is also a lightweight, okay, and also it's free. If you use a WordPress, now there is like a lot of plugin, for example, like Slider 6, Revolution 7 and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, these are not free, meaning that you have to pay for it. And usually it comes with a bit of scripts, things that you don't really like and so on. So I just wanted to make it a bit more specific to the things what I want. So for example, I'm going to go through some of the examples that is given here. This is basically like what you do before, or you did before with live canvas. Live canvas can do this, but other than that, for example, if I want to have like a side paddings that come with the left and the right side that just show just a little bit of this, all right, I probably would be able to do that as well. I can also do like the multiple slide. This is just like the examples that I've just shown you earlier. I can also use like a one slide per move. There is a focus like in the center. There is like a drag free, meaning that I can just like glide through, like as much as I could. This looks a little bit like a Instagram story, or the Facebook IG story and so on. Yeah, so it looks pretty much like this. I can do like a custom paginations where it actually come with the numbers. All right. I can do like a slide progress. That means that it will show that where, or like the progress of the content that I have in here. You can also have like the vertical slides, which also look pretty much nicer, and I can convert this into a page of design if I want to. Other than that, I can have like the mouse wheel, meaning that it actually scroll together with the mouse. If the mouse is going in here, so it will actually just like slide in and out. So it became actually a very nice design, or a specific or unique web design if you apply something like this. And there are actually a lot more. So I would like to have this option inside of my website, and I'm going to pick up like one from here, especially this one. This is the one that I'm actually looking at, because there is a breakpoint here. You could actually open up the code to see that what is actually the breakpoint in here. All right, for example, what happened when the size of the screen is 640 pixel? What will happen if the size of the screen is like 480 and so on? And this can be customized by ourselves, right? And there are actually a lot more. So basically, having a Splide.JS .com would actually open you up to a lot more like cases of things what you can do for your website. So let's try to use this in our WordPress. Okay, now to use in the WordPress will be a little bit difficult than usual. The reason is because we can use this in any HTML and the JavaScripts, But in order to use it in WordPress, it will be like a little bit of like a steps of doing so. So in this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-steps of how we do it, so that you will be able to apply this in any of your design of the website that is using a data management system or the content management system, just like WordPress. So let's jump into our project works, and then after we'll take it from there. Okay, all right. Now first of all, I'm going to open up my XMP. Yeah, so let me just put in my credentials and make sure that you switch on your server, which is your SQL, your FTP, and also your Apache web server. It may take a while, so let's just try that first. Okay, so now they are running. What I can do is I can just go into any of the local hosts. Oh, sorry, what I'm trying to say is a local host. There you go. And then it will open up to my local host on my computer. I'll go to the phpMyAdmin first. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to apply, or I'm going to create a database for my WordPress. I'm assuming that we are now in week 8. So what I'll do is I'm going to go to new and then type here week 8, one word, and then create. And then the week 8 database is already been created. Now what I'll do now is I am going to come back to my console and then open up my folder, the application folder, look for the htdocs. In the htdoc, what happened is I'm going to create a folder called as week 8. Okay, so in here what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a set or a series of WordPress. So let's go and collect the WordPress. I have already downloaded this earlier, so it's on the site. What I'll do is I'm going to extract this and then take all the files that I have in here, and then what I'll do is I'm going to copy this and drop it into my week 8 folder. Okay, all right, so now it's all installed. I'm going to clean up a little bit. Alright, so perhaps clean up by names. Alright, great. So the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the WP config sample. This is it. So what I'll do is I'm going to make a duplication, and this duplication file I'm going to remove the word sample. So basically it will become WP-config. Okay, alright, open this up in bracket or in any Visual Code or any text editor that you have. Right, so I already have this, which is great. Now what I'll do is I'm going to change the name of the database to week 8. Basically this is exactly the same thing like what you have just typed in your local host. I don't really remember how it's written, so it's actually week 8. So what happened is it's week 8. Username I'm going to use here as root, and then the password I'm going to leave this thing empty. And because I'm going to be using like a lot of FTP later on, I'm going to make this to be FTP to be direct transfer. So I don't really remember to write this, but I know that I wrote this in the week 6 folder. So this is it. I'm going to copy this up, and then I will just put it into here. Okay, so into your week 8 WP config. So what happened is it says that define FS, which is file transfer method, to be direct, and yeah, so it actually make it easier. Now after that finish, save it. Okay, save all if you want to, then you can close it up. Then the next thing what I do is I'm going to open up localhost and then /week 8. So by right you should be able to. Yes. Now I'm going to install this. Let's take a look at English UK, continue this up, and then I can just like put here as week 08. Okay, and the username here I'm going to put my name, and I'm going to use a simple password to allow me to come in and out, and I can change to the complicated ones once when I've uploaded. Confirm using like use a weak password and install. Okay, oh, again install. Maybe I'm just going to put here as muzamiro@gmail.com. Just put it as a password. I don't really understand the reason why, but I think if I installed it this time, it will work, yes, correctly. And I'm going to put my name here, Muzamir 1 2 3 4 5. I'm sharing my password with you, doesn't really matter. You can't really access it from your end, so yeah. Never. Okay. What's the next things I'm going to do is I'm going to install a couple in plugins and so on. Now, before I install the plugin and also the theme, because I'm going to put in the live canvas and also the Pico straps in here, I'm going to just go back again to the folder. All right, and then this is the folder week 8, and I'm going to go to the WP content, and then let's just set up my folder right to be read and write. So the reason is because you know, like your computer becomes so protective, so whatever things that you're trying to install by yourself, it actually been denied because they are scared that you are going to put in like some virus or something like that. However, believe me, just putting this thing up, you are going to save up you know, like proper things in here. So let's go again to the plugin and do the same thing. So I'm going to change this into a read and write, to everyone to read and write, and then the next thing is to the theme as well. Right click key, go to the get info, and then save this as a read and write, and the read and write. So excellent. Now I have already had this, it's good. So the next thing what I'll do is I'm going to come back again to the dashboard. First of all, I'm going to install the Pico strap. Let's go to appearance, themes. The themes that is currently in use right now is a 2021, but the next things what I'll do is I'll just gonna go to the add new and then upload theme. Look for a folder that I have already given you earlier. So the folder is a Pico strap 5. If you want to get the latest one, if they have like the latest copy, go to the website of the Pico straps and download the Pico strap 5 from there. So click open, install now, and then it will take actually a very short time to install and activate it. Once when you activate, you will see that the looks of your website will look a little bit different. It will look something like this. That shows that you have already installed. It reset whatever design that you have, and it will actually start up with a new design that you are in there. Okay, all right, now the next thing what I'll do is, I think you kind of like have a sense that I'm actually going a little bit too fast because we have already done this like hundreds of times already. So I believe that you already understand that what to do. The next thing what we are going to install is the plugin. So go to the plugin, add new, and this is where I will install in the live canvas. I have a live canvas already waiting here on my desktop on the right side. So go to the upload plugin, choose a file, and then choose a live canvas.zip, and then open it up. So install now, and then activate the plugin. Now once when you do that, you will see that there is a tab called as a live canvas that is sitting in there for you to install or for you to work with. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to this time I'm going to let you to install one new plugin in here. You're going to be needing this plugin later on when you install a Splide. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to come back and go to the add new, and then I'm going to look, because it's actually somewhere in here that is called as a header footer. So let's just type the word header footer. Header and footer scripts. Okay, yeah, this is actually the one that I want. Yay. So I'm going to install this up. It may take a little bit a while, but then it will install it. Great. And then activate. Alright, so great. Header and footer script is already activated from here. What you need to do is, in order for you to access that, is to go through setting. So under the setting, you will see there is a header and footer script. Now what this is all about, I'm going to make you step back into Web 2 and Web 1 that you have learned from the previous semester. Now in the previous semester, when you learn the HTML, you will have the header, alright, and then you will have a body, or you open the HTML, you have a head. So sometimes you put the link to Bootstrap, you have the link to CSS, and so on. So you actually will type in the header. Now, not just that, there is a script sometime that you put it in before the body close. For examples like JavaScript and stuff like that. So I just need to have some script to be written on top here and to be written at the bottom here. Okay, so this is just to get myself prepared for whatever things that I wanted to put it in. Okay, now I think the first part is already ready. I'm going to go to the second part of this video, which is to install the Splide.JS. Okay, now Splide.JS is actually very easy. What you do is, number one is you have to install the CSS and also the JavaScript, and second is you can choose in whichever that you want from here. For example, if you want to have like the simple examples like this, all you have to do is just to go to the code, and then you just like select this, and then you will install this one as well. So there are three things where you have to install. Number one is the CSS, second is the JavaScript file, and the third is when you mount it. Mount it means that when you want to activate the JavaScript inside of your page. So I'm going to walk you through one by one, yeah? So don't worry about it. Now, first of all, I want you to go to the Splide.js.com. After you get here, go to the Get Started. All right. Okay, I'm just going to direct you through straight away to what you need to do. You can actually install it in several options. There are 4 options to be exact. Number one is you can use an NPM. Number two is you can host the file, because you can actually download the file from their server. Or what you can do is you can use a CDN. This is actually what we are going to do right now. The file belongs to them, but we are going to link it to yours. And then you can also use it as an integration if you are doing it with either React, Vue, or Svelte. So basically, these are some of the technology that people use in order to create mobile application, especially for the progressive apps. Yeah, so don't get ourselves complicated. So I'm just going to come back to the CDN. So the Cloud Development Networks, just download or just go to the JS Deliver from here. So if you see there is a JS Deliver, what you are going to do is you will actually get from here 2 set of files. Number one is you are going to get the JavaScript, and second is you are going to get the CSS from here. Okay, all right, I'm going to get the JavaScript first. This is actually the files that you are looking at. Okay, so and then this is actually the CSS that you are going to be looking at. But we just take this one first lah. All right, now how are you going to install this is you will see that there is a tab or copy to clipboard. Open this up, and then you can straight away copy either a URL or the HTML. I'm going to take the HTML so that I don't have to type in the HTML at all. So copy this up. All right, once when it copy, go back again to your let me see, where is it? Okay, to here, to the header and footer. I'm going to put the JavaScript here in the footer so that it will look something like this. So it's written here as a script, src https cdn.jsdeliver.net npm splide.js splide 3.6.12 dist.js splide.min.js, and then close scripts. Whew, that's actually quite a long one, but yeah, this is not what you wrote, but what you do is this is a JavaScript that you can use it. Okay, all right, now once when you have this, I'm going to now put it in the header with the CSS. So let's get back into the JS Deliver earlier. So what happened is you are going to click on the CSS here. Okay, under the CSS you have several files. I'm not going to use all of them. What I'll do is I'm going to go to the splide.min.css. This is actually the files that I'm looking for. Now I'm going to copy this to the clipboard. Again, same process. What you do is you just like click the pull down. You can either get the URL or you can also get the HTML. I'm more concerned about HTML so that I can get a full line of sentence from here. So copy HTML. Let's get back to the header and footer scripts, and then go to the scripts in the header and then paste it in here. Okay, so the first step and the second step is already there. The first step is to put the JavaScript. The second step is actually to put in the CSS. You put all of this in the header and the footer script, and this is a plugin that you can actually get it for free from the plugin in your WordPress. Okay, great. Now the third things. Okay, the third thing is you are going to put it in first before knowing what's actually going to happen and so on. But let me just show you, yeah? Let's go back again to the website of the Splide. All right, this is all what I need from here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the home section. Okay, let's say I'm going to try this, the first one here. Okay, so the first one here have a code, and the code say is a var splide new splide dot splide splide.mount. Okay, so no need to know what's actually going on over there, but what you can do is you can just copy this up. Alright, then let's get back again to the header and the footer script. This is actually the part that you are going to add it up together with the JavaScript that you had there. But not just doing this, this is actually what you're going to do, guys. You are going to type in script like this. Alright, and then you are going to also close script. Now this is the only thing, trust me guys, that you have to type in. Alright, fine. I'm going to make a space in the middle here. This is where I'm going to type in this stuff, this good stuff here. Okay, so basically I have already done this. Save the setting. Okay, so I'm going to check back again one more time. I have the link that go to the CSS. I also have the links that go to the JavaScript. I also start the JavaScript by using the mounted scripts here. Okay, fine. This is actually cool. So the next thing what I'll do is I'm going to create myself a page. Okay, so let's go to the page. I'm going to do with the live canvas. I can tell you one thing. Let's just say that this is a Splide page. Okay, let's just put it as Splide just to show what that is there. Alright, so I think it's going to take me a while, so let's just wait. Okay, so I'm already in. Now what I'll do is I'm going to open up a new section. Okay, so a new section's in here, and then in this section I'm going to go to the grid builder, and I'm going to go and put in the first columns in. Okay, so in this first column, like you just click the block, and in this block I'm going to put in my own scripts in here. The reason is because I'm going to come back to the Splide. Okay, and then what I'll do is I will go into the get started back again one more time. There is a scripts that I need to actually fill it up. Now this is a basic structure that you have to do it in the HTML. Okay, so how do I get here is you can go to the Splide.js.com/guides/getting started, scroll down to the HTML, and then it will actually train or explain to you of how to write this. Okay, so let me just read this thing to you. It will open up with the Splide. It will call up the Splide track. There is a Splide list, and then there is a Splide __ Splide, and these are actually 3 objects in one. Okay, so let's do this. What I'll do now, I'm going to copy up this basic structure. Then after that I'm going to come back to my live canvas, and I'm going to fill it up in here. There are several ways how you can do this. You can either go down to the custom block and do it in the custom block. You can actually put in like a normal HTML by yourself by going to the block and then on the HTML editor. Now in the HTML editor, it actually opened up this block. So what you do is you're just going to paste this in here. Okay, and once when you're done, go to close, and then you can save this up. Okay, now you might not be able to see this, but what happened, you can just go to, because I don't really want to what do you call this, close this, because it takes actually me forever for me to reopen this thing back again. So what I'll do is I'm going to open up into a new tab and then go to the localhost / week 8. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back again to the dashboards, and then I know that I have actually a pages. I'm going to go to all pages. This is the page that is still under preview. So what I do is, sorry, under draft. What I'll do is I'm going to go and to the quick edit, and then change the status from draft into publish, so that I will be able to view it, update it up. Okay, and to make this thing to be easier for me to choose or to look into right now, what I'll do is I'm going to go to the appearance. I'll go to the setting, reading. Okay, and then I'll just change to the first page, that is the home page to display, is actually to use a static page, and I choose the home page to be Splide, meaning that this is actually the first page that I will open to whenever I go to the localhost /week08. Now let's just click save changes here. Now what I'll do is I'm just going to go to again to localhost week08. Now when you go here, you will see that it looks to me like I have like these two buttons on the side here that actually make me slide from slide 1 into slide 2 and into slide 3. So I think you know what's going on here. You have already activated yourself like the slide 1, 2 and 3. But the thing is, I need to know actually what to put in here. Okay, alright, so I think we have already successfully installed it in. Now I need to have like some stuff to actually load it in here. What I'll do is I'm going to put in like maybe some of the images. Maybe I'm going to go to Unsplash first and get some pictures. Maybe I'm going to look for the pictures of a beach perhaps this time for change, and then change the orientation to having a landscape. Okay, so I have a landscape pictures here. I'm going to download a couple of, for example, I have this picture. Probably I'm going to take just the medium one. Okay, go to the second, pick it up, pick up the pictures again, and then take a couple of maybe some, you know, like 3 or 4. Actually, I'm going to take a lot more, perhaps maybe 10. Because I wanted to do like 3 by 3, so at least I need to have like more example or more text in here, yeah. Okay, I have a lot of beach today, so yep. Now I'm going to take all of these files. Perhaps maybe I'm going to name this as B1, B2, B3, so that it's easier for me to you know, like put it into the scripts. B3, and then B4, and then B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, and B10. Okay, great. So what I'll do now is let's just put this download aside. I'm going to come back to my canvas editor. Okay, I believe I have 2 somewhere around here, so I have another one here. So I'm going to go just to the dashboard, go to the post and media and the library, add new, and then let's just load up all these pictures in here. I'm going to use my own pictures this time, so I think it's going to look lovely. So I have all the pictures in. Awesome. So you just can open up one by one. For example, I'm going to open this. This is actually the file or the URL file or where the picture is inside of your WordPress. Copy this URL, and then after that I'm just going to go back again to the page which I did. Alright, so this is the one. You probably won't be able to see this, yeah? So let's just open back again the editor that you have that, because this time around what you do is you probably need to work with the script all the way. So I'm just going to maximize this so that it's easier for you to see. Now this slide 1, maybe I'll just like zoom in a little bit. Alright, I hope you can see that better now. I'll do is I'm going to sorry, let me just fix this because I think I have already accidentally. Okay, let me just do this. Alright, so what I'll do now is I'm going to make a space and I'm going to put here an image. So it will be an image. Okay, and then image will always come with the HSRC. Okay, and then I'm going to paste in the what do you call this localhost week 8 WP contents, the picture. Okay, And then in this picture, what I do is I'm going to have a class that says that this is actually an image flute. You can just follow along with this, all right? And then after that, that's about it. Okay, all right, so I'm going to start using the picture of B1. Okay, once when you finish, you can just use a control save. You can have a look at from the other, you know, like from the visit site, and you will see that the first pictures is already in. It looks actually pretty big, all right, but it's okay because the picture itself is big. But I think the rest would also deserve to have some pictures in there. Okay, so let's just jump back into our live canvas. All right, I'm going to copy this line and I'm going to put it into the label of a 02 here. So let's put it in. Okay, and then maybe the third slide as well. All right, so what I'll do is I'm going to put here as B2 and I'm going to put another one as B3. So if you save this up and then after that you just go back again and refresh on the other side, you will see that now the second and the third pictures is already in. So this is actually what you had. Okay, now you can also do this with a carousel. It doesn't really matter, but you can also use like a Splide.JS in order to do this, and basically you can do more. Okay, so I'm going to come back again and close this up. You will see that now this is actually quite a big one, but what I do is I'm going to go to the column and go to the properties. In the column, you can actually change the size of this. For example, I don't want to have it that big. Probably I'm going to have the size here at the 8 column, meaning that it's supposed to be a bit smaller, but I'm going to change so that the offset will be 2. Okay, meaning that it will be centralized somewhere in the middle here. Save this up and then take a look what happened on the other side. So basically you will see that the size would actually get a little bit smaller than how it was earlier. Okay, all right, so this is actually what happened. So successfully you have already installed the Splide.JS into your work. Now I don't really want to have this. I want to have that to be 3 pictures in one. Okay, so let's take a look. What are the other options what you can do? I'm going to jump in back again into the website of the Splide. All right, then I'm going to come back again on the top here, go to home, and then there are like a couple of examples here that I'm actually probably interested. I wanted to look for something that looks like this, guys. Let me just go through with you with the breakpoints. The reason is because I want it to show 3. I want to have like this button at the bottom here, and at the same time I want it so that if let's say I reduce the size, it's going to make it smaller, and it's just going to show that, you know, like where was it earlier? I think it's jumped off already. Okay, let me just see where that is, and then after that we can just, okay, this breakpoint. I want to have the breakpoint, okay, so that if let's say you go to the code, the breakpoint will look something like this. Okay, now this is actually the script where you have to put it later on in the plugin of the insert, header and the footer that we installed earlier. Okay, so replace the one on the Splide mount and replace it with this. So let's copy this up. Okay, so after you got this, I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go here. Okay, and then let's go to the dashboards. I think the dashboard here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to the setting with the header and footer scripts. Okay, then you will see there is a script on the footer. There is a second part of the JavaScript, which is this. Okay, now what I'll do, let me just open it bigger so that you guys can see it better. Alright, so I'm going to remove these 2 lines here, still under the same scripts, and then paste the new one. Okay, now the new one says that every time when it opened up 3 per page, meaning that 3 pieces per page. Alright, and then I'm going to say is that the breakpoint, when it ever come to the 640, the pages will be 2 per page. Alright, and whenever it come to 480, it will become about 1 page. Now this is customizable, guys. We are going to customize this later, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to install, put it in first, click save setting. Alright, After that, let's just go and find out. Let's see, visit site. Oh, now I got 3 already. And then, all right, actually it doesn't move because I only have 3 pictures. That means that I have to make more pictures then. I can try to have a look if I try to make it smaller. Oh, now it already changed into 2. Okay, I think that's cool. All right, I think I need to have a little bit of space on top as well because this thing is like, there's a menu on top. And let's see what happens if I reduce a little bit more. It's going to become 1. Okay, so it become 1, right? If it's bigger like this, it become 2. All right, and then if it's bigger, it become 3. And it's actually quite a small one. This is where I'm going to do a little bit of the customizing so that it became to the things what I really want to have. All right, so what I'll do is I'm just going to come back again to my canvas, where my canvas is. I think the canvas is here. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to come back again to the column. Just now the column was MD12, so what I'll do is I'm going to set it up to earlier it was MD8, so I'll change it back to MD12, and I'm going to take the offset out. Okay, so that it become like the whole entire trash. Now let's see what happens if you do that. It's going to make everything all to be big again. Okay, but I'm going to have more than 3 pictures in here. So what I'll do is I'll come back, go back again to the block, go to the HTML editor. All right, I'm gonna, because I have like literally about 9 altogether, so I'm just going to copy this line and then make a duplication. You will see that it looks actually pretty much like the same pattern, just to change the name here to B4, B5, B6 and onwards. Okay, and then probably this is not enough. I'm gonna have a few more. All right, so another 3 that later on I'm gonna label this with B7, B8 and B9. Okay, so I think this is good. Save this up and come back here. By right, I should have 9 pictures altogether. So let's just glide through. Yay, I have all the nice pictures in. And then let's try to see what happens when I reduce the size. It actually works. So it's showing by 1 by 1 when it becomes smaller. And it shows 3 by 3 when it gets bigger. And then I can literally control this. Okay, pretty much, pretty good. This is what I like. Now I'm going to do a little bit of changes here. Okay, I'm going to go to the section and then add up a little bit of properties here. So what I'll do is I'm going to have a bit of a spacing here. I'll think I put a little bit of a padding from the top, maybe 8, and from the bottom maybe I'll put also 8. The reason is because it kind of like pushes everything all down, you see, so that I can actually see that it sits in the middle here, and it looks actually pretty okay. Okay, all right, now let's customize this a little bit more. Let's come back again to the scripts. Let's close this up. Where's the scripts for the block here? For the block, I'll go to the HTML editor. What I do is I'm not going to go here, but what I'll do is I'm going to go to the setting. All right, the reason is because to the header and the footer scripts. The reason is because I wanted to, in the beginning it shows me 5. All right, and then by the time it get a little bit smaller, maybe about 1200, it will show me about 4. Okay, meaning that it get a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to copy this line. Take a look where I'm copying. It starts from 1200s until the curly bracket close and comma. Copy this up, and then after that, let me just make it bigger. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to copy from 1200 until the semicolon, curly bracket and comma. Copy this and then drop it down. I will put another breakpoint to this that says that this is 800. Okay, and whenever it hit 100, it will just show about 3. Okay, And then probably I'm going to put another one that says if this is about 640, it will show about 2. Okay, and then when it's 480, it will show about 1. So literally, if my page size is big, I'm going to show 5. If let's say the page is like about 1200, I'm going to show only 1, and then so on and so on. Okay, alright, so this is the last part. I'm going to see this. I think that is fine already. After you save that up, and then let's just go back again to visit the site and see that now I have like about 5. I actually kind of like it. Okay, and then I can reduce the size a little bit. So you see now it became like 4. Okay, and I can reduce the size a little bit more, then it become like 3. I can reduce a little bit more of the size, then it become like 2, which is actually pretty. You should see this. There it is. Okay, and then if I reduce a little bit more, then it become much smaller like that. Okay, I think this is cool. This is what I want. Alright, except that what I also want is I don't want to have it as a picture. I wanted to install this as a card. That's actually my first initial idea of what I want to do. Okay, right, to put it in the card. Now what I'll do is I'm just going to come back here. I'm going to look over a beautiful card to put in there. Alright, it looks actually pretty big. Now I don't know what kind of a card, and I'm actually really lazy to write down the code for doing the card, so I'm just going to add up the section here. After that finish, alright, and then I'm just going to go to the grid builder, and you can put just only like one code, one block. Choose a block. The reason is because I just want to have the cards. Alright, you can choose to which card do you prefer to have. I have a feeling that I'm going to do something like with the background image like this. Alright, which actually looks pretty nice. Alright, let's take a look at the block here. I'm going to open up to the HTML editor. It looks pretty much a lot of things happening here. Okay, which is okay. Alright, I'm not really a bit fussy about this. I know that this actually can be changed later on, but what I'll do is I'm going to copy up all of this. Okay, and then this is where it's going to get a bit complicated, but I'm pretty sure that you guys are pretty okay with it. Come back to this block that is invisible, that you can't really see. Open this up, open the HTML. Now I want you to take this first image, okay, and then let's just paste this thing in here. Okay, alright, and then you can also do the same thing for the second one. Okay, cut and put the second one in, and then you go all the way, alright, to the top, the fourth one, and then you can just come back here to this image. Oops, sorry, I think I accidentally did too many. I just need to have that line, paste it in, and then get this line, paste it in. Okay, get this line as well, oops, and paste it in. Okay, literally I'm going to do for all the 9. Alright, so after that finish, closed it up, saved it. You will see that now it's in here. You probably won't be able to see it anyway, but let's just find out how it's supposed to look like. Refresh this. So this is actually what you have. Okay, so yeah, you can actually change the pictures and everything's inside here. You can also change, like the looks and so on, alright, so that it actually looks nicer. You can put the minimum height, because apparently it doesn't really look nice when it becomes smaller and stuff. So, there's supposed to be a minimum height to this. Now let's just change a little bit of the minimum height. Alright, I should have done that before I copy and paste, but it doesn't really matter. What I will do is I'm just going to put in, this is actually the pictures, yeah? If you want to change the pictures in the style, alright, what I'll do is I'm going to put in the class. Let's just go from the very top. Okay, from the very top here, I says that this is the class where you have the pictures in. Okay, and then the class called as class card. Okay, what I will do is I'm going to check whether there is a style in here. There is no style. Okay, but what I can do is I can do this, guys. I'm going to come here. Let me just try this out. I say that's whatever things that come in the cart. Okay, that will be a minimum height of maybe about 350 pixel. Okay, for a try, let's try this out. Let's come back here. Okay, so I resize this. Every time I come back, all right. I think I should change it from the very beginning. Okay, so this is not it. What I do is I have to put it inside of the scripts. Okay, let me just fix this thing for a bit, then I will let you guys work it out. So let's go back into the block, go to the HTML editor, and then what I do is in each of this class I'm going to apply here a little bit of a style. Let's say the minimum height will be maybe 350 pixels. Okay, alright, so let's try out for the first one first. I'm going to come back here, try this out. Okay, and then let's see what happened on the first one. Okay, actually it works. It's supposed to work. Okay, but never mind. What I'll do is I'm going to find out how the script is, and then I'm going to show you for in another class. But let's just try this out. I want you guys to try this on your own and just play around with this first, all right, before we actually do or create a nicer one. And I'm going to try it on my own. I think that's about it for the class for today. That is been pre-recorded for you. Please try this out, and also please try the other the other styles that are in here, so that it will actually make it easier for you to play around with. Okay, all right, till then I will see you back again on the next session. Bye bye.